Hello, my name is John Maynard. I'm owner and operator of Champion Martial Arts Center in Wilmington, North Carolina. We are a mixed martial arts school, a martial arts school. We have many different versions of things that we do here. We are a full-time martial arts school. We do everything from children's classes to firearms classes. Today, the techniques that we will be working on, it is possible for you to injure yourself and or someone else. So the first thing we'd like to do is we would like for you to see a doctor before you start any exercise program. And also, if you're going to be doing the martial arts techniques, do not attempt to do these without a martial arts professional with you. My assistant, Bill Poteet, is one of my black belts who has been with me for many years. And again, my name is John Maynard, and I'm a 6th-degree black belt. For this, you will need a good training partner and a safe training space. The first thing that we're going to be working on will be, basically all of these techniques will be self-defense, Krav Maga inspired, but basically a massive explosion when something happens that you are grabbed. The main thing that we're going to be working on is to do something. So the first thing that we'll start off with is, I'll show it first on my opponent, is someone just comes up and they put their hands behind you on your back, okay? I am wearing a sidearm today, so my main concern is that I want to always protect my sidearm in this situation. I'm a North Carolina concealed handgun holder, concealed handgun recipient and holder, and I also teach firearms classes to do the things that we're doing as far as protecting yourself and your weapon. Okay, the first thing that we'll do is once we realize that someone has put their hands on us, that's the scary part. The first thing that we want to do is to take our traps, drop our traps up, throw them up as hard as you can, drop our body weight down. This gives us some type of movement that we can use. At this point, anything that we do today, our point of reference are going to be hands up in some semblance of a fighter, boxer, MMA person. So from this point, all I'm going to do is I'm going to step and turn in a circle, and I'm going to take both hands and just push away. Again, this is self-defense. It doesn't have anything to do with fighting. It has to do with survival. From that point, I'm going to push straight back. That's the basic version of someone putting their hands on you from behind. Remember, it may be your mother or your grandmother, so we don't want to, kick them or punch them or hurt them. So at this point, I'm going to put one more thing in with it as far as a self-defense move. As I turn and my hands go up to protect myself, I shield, trap goes up, protecting my neck and my jawline. As I turn from this position, all I'm going to do is drop down, elbow strike into the ribs, and do what we call the Heisman Trophy push and get them off of you. At that point, you can either re-engage and or run. The next thing would be the single hand behind you. From that position, it's going to be exactly the same thing. Again, our point of reference is hands go to here. I don't know what it is on me. I feel it's a hand, but he may have something else in his other hand. At this point, I don't know that. From here, my hands go up, traps come up. I turn, make that small circle. From this position, the basics again are the push away, create distance, trying to get away. A little more advanced version would be just what we had done before. As I turn, I'm going to drop down an elbow strike and or vertical punch, some type of a punch. The next thing I want to do is the choke. And because I'm mic'd up, arm going around my neck, we're going to do it a little bit differently. I'm going to use my fine, good-looking assistant, Mr. Bill Poteet. So from this position, all I'm going to do is just take my arm and slide it around his neck. The first thing you do is save your life. All the techniques in the world won't work if you're choked unconscious and or you're dead. So all he's going to do is take his hands, put them over top of mine, and pull straight down. At that point, we're going to use that circle that we talked about before, and he's just going to turn, working and pushing me away from him so he can create distance. Again, the main thing here, it's not a fight, it's self-defense. It's a massive explosion. The next thing we're going to do is just exactly what we did before. Until this gets locked in, he's got a pretty good chance of survival. My arm goes in. I don't get it locked. He turns. He's turning his head away from the bend. Either way will work, but right now this is what we're working on. He's going to make a small circle. He turns, creates distance, and he does some type of a strike, push away, get out of there. The hardest one to do, we're going to do this one. My partner will go down to his knees. This is called a rear naked choke. Once this gets locked in, it's very, very hard to get out of. You see it all the time in UFC. It's called the lion killer. It has many different names, but it's very, very hard to get out of, especially from a standing position. What I do is I take my arm, the bend of my arm, I go underneath his neck, I lock in on my bicep and go behind his head. He's got a lot of problems at that point, okay? What we want to do is once we feel that arm sliding in or someone putting their arm around our neck, you got to do something right at that point. Once this gets locked in, he's got just a few seconds to get out of that. Again, we're trying to save our life, okay? All he's going to do is exactly what we did before. This is not advanced, this is saving our life. Once I get to here, he's going to pull down with his arms, trying to save his life, and creating space in the V here, the V of the arm, so he can breathe. Main thing is that you breathe. We're not going to do anything any different. He works on the spin, okay? We're going to do it standing up. In reality, he's not going to let me do this. So something happened that I got him in this position. So I go to here. It gets locked in. From that position, he saves his life. He turns, creates distance, pushing away, fighting his way out of that. You know when someone's trying to hurt you. You're going to feel it. Adam's apple is like a pop can. Once it gets crushed, it does not go back, okay? The things that we spoke about before, all of them revert down to a point of reference. That's hands up. So we started off with someone behind me. I go to point of reference. Traps up, hands up, turn. Basically a push. The one arm. Traps up, hands up, push. The third one is when the arm goes around, I take it and I save my life, okay? That's the main thing, is taking the arm away from the windpipe so you can breathe. At that point, we want to try to create distance. Again, this is not foolproof. You see professionals get choked out in the ring all the time, okay? So you have to make this happen before they get locked in. That covers the 3 techniques that we are looking at from behind. They're very basic. They're very simple. There's nothing advanced about this. It's about saving your life. Thank you.